lot of things come natural to Stan. And, you know, I went to watch him when he was at Notts Forest against teams, and he's the only player, you know, when he's run at players, defenders, you know, I look back and, you know, it excites you.
Looking back now, it must be quite a contrast, life at Liverpool compared with that at Stafford Rangers.
Yeah, indeed. You know, I'm glad I went through that route because it was ups and downs all the way, and I think it just makes me appreciate, you know, occasions like Saturday just that little bit more.
What was the big turning point in your career? Do you think the move to Southend and working with
Certainly,
Barry Fry?
Certainly, yeah. I think initially it was Colly Murphy, who I've got to say, you know, a big thank you to for his sort of patience with me and guidance, because certainly when I went to Southend, he gave me a lot of confidence, a lot of self-belief.
Do you lack that a little bit, Stan, in you deep down? I mean, people sometimes see you as a confident person, quite outspoken person, but are you confident?
I think I am confident, yeah. I've always been confident in my ability to be able to know what I can do playing football. But you do have occasions, I suppose, if, you know, especially with the Crystal Palace thing, it was over 3 years. Firstly, I didn't feel that I was playing in my position, and secondly, I was told that, you know, I was basically a wide player. So when Colly Murphy, I met him, the first thing he said that he wanted me to play as a centre forward, which, you know, my sort of ears pricked up, and that was what I wanted to do.
At Forest, you scored something like 40 odd goals in 2 seasons. How was your time at Forest?
Contrary to what a lot of what was reported when I left, it was a very happy time. I think that, you know, any player, and you know, I go back to the Crystal Palace days, and I wasn't happy and I wasn't playing particularly well. So to go to Forest, I think it was 50 goals, yeah, 25 in each season.
Sorry, I said 40.
It's okay. You know, I think for any player, you've got to be happy, you know, if you're scoring, you know, goals like that. But yeah, a lot's been made of rifts with myself and Frank Clark and the club.
True? Any truth in those, or
I think it was
exaggerated like everything else?
I think it was exaggerated, yeah. I mean, I've seen Frank Clark and people at Forest since, and they've, you know, they've been tremendous. I think Frank Clark, when he was asked about his ideal England squad, there was in it. So, you know, I'd like to think that I did something right.
We pleaded with him. We worked hard for 3 or 4 months to persuade him. We made him an offer that, you know, we said, look, whatever offer you get anywhere else, we'll match it. So it wasn't about money. I think it was about ambition. You know, I think the boy genuinely felt that he would have a better opportunity of going right to the top and winning things if he went to Liverpool.
Here is Stan the man. Chance for COLLYMORE. He's won it!
You've been called a free spirit, a loner, independent, different things.
Yeah.
What is the real Stan Collymore like?
I think a few friends that are, you know, my close friends, would sort of scoff at the loner thing. I just see myself as me. I mean, I don't know whether some footballers just feel they have to conform to some stereotype. But I'm just me. I mean, there was obviously the beginning of the season, which was a sort of well-publicised magazine article, which I did.
I was going to mention.
And it was done in good faith. But when I saw it in black and white in a tabloid, as often with these things, you know, it was quite horrific. And I remember just sitting there at home, and it really was one of the loneliest moments I've had, because I thought, I've only just joined the club. What's going to happen from here? And there was a meeting scheduled with the manager, and it was very sort of light. You know, we had a chat, and the gaffer basically said, "Do you want to play for Liverpool Football Club?" which I'd always wanted to do. And you know, we just basically mapped out from then what was going to happen, you know, for the development of myself and my role in the team.
He started quite well. Got injured, and then had the famous magazine story. And out of that's come a lot of good, I think. I think we sat down and spoke a few home truths to each other. And it's not all down to Stan. We'd made some mistakes in the relationship as well. We tried buying people and saying, yeah, go and show what you can do. But sometimes you've got to help the people. And we got it right. He wanted to stay, and since then his contribution has been tremendous.
Any predictions?
No,
No. A win for Liverpool and a goal for Collymore wouldn't be bad, would it?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. Just any Liverpool victory, you know, whoever scores. I mean, I don't think Rob Jones has scored since he's been at Liverpool, so I suppose he'll make a foray forward and try and get one. But
no, you're being ridiculous, aren't you?
Yeah, I am actually. Sorry, Trigger. But yeah, I mean, I think that the lads are ready for it. I think we're confident, and you know, like I say, we'll just be going out and concentrating on our game, and hopefully that will do the job.
Wish you all the very best.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay.
Well, he's 6-1 against scoring the first goal, but there's Jones, who's 50-1 shot to score that goal. Fowler, the men in the white suits have arrived for this cup final. Ruddock was the one who missed out and isn't even on the subs bench today. But there we are. Right, now, tell me, Campbell, where are we off to? Right, let's look back now at the road to Wembley and the quarterfinals.
Round 6 brought face-to-face two old mates who'd been to Wembley together and still the best of friends.
Don't hope you have a nightmare.
When the skippers got down to the serious business of Chelsea versus Wimbledon, it was still hard to separate them. 1-1 after 80 minutes.
They're going to cut the space down the minute he touched it. Oh, and too soon. Bullet, deflection, goal! 2-1 to Chelsea. But Wimbledon have a free kick, taken quickly. And here's Holdsworth, and it's in! It's there! It's 2-2, and Chelsea weren't ready. Within a minute of Chelsea taking the lead, the match is back in the balance.
When Rudy came up with a free kicker, we obviously felt we were in the driving seat, but you know, it's disappointing to let a goal in so quickly after we scored.
Oh, good ball, it's Petrescu from Burley's pass, and Chelsea take the lead. Harford, Ekoku, Goodman, it's there! Typical Wimbledon. Taken quickly by Chelsea, Spencer, Dewberry, it's there! Hughes is in the centre, Spencer's further over. It's still Hullett. And it still is, and Hughes! It's Chelsea 3, Wimbledon 1.
Liverpool played Leeds, the goalless draw at Elland Road, an enigma of negativity. Were Leeds hoping for a second stalemate and a penalty lottery? For more than an hour, that seemed possible.
Took a good position there, Stan Collymore. Plenty of support in the box. Away by Palmer as far as Jones, now McManaman. Oh, he's done it at last! Too hard to handle. McManaman. Fowler. McManaman. Fowler. McManaman. It's a glorious goal! Liverpool at their very, very best. Fowler's a left footer, may fancy his chances over the wall. Ruddock is lurking just behind him. Collymore is a candidate. It's Robbie Fowler, it's 3!
In my own mind, I'd like to see Liverpool win the Cup. Not because Manchester United are our big rivals, but I think they deserve something for the way they've played this year. And they've been very exciting, you know, they've passed the ball well. And I would personally like to see them win it.
If ever there was an inspired horses for courses selection, it was the choice of Franz Carr to play at Nottingham Forest, where his career took off. This was Carr's first start since joining Villa more than a year earlier.
Draper, let it run for Carr. Franz Carr, he scored! It's a dream night for Franz
At Old Trafford, Manchester United had stabilised after a rocky spell before Christmas. Against Southampton, Alex Ferguson sent his team out with 9 straight wins behind them.
Oh, Schmeichel scrambling, yes! He's ruled it out. Shipley is heartbroken. Well, there was a push down on the defender. Cantona to Cole. Giggs makes a forward run and it cannons very neatly into his path. Into Cantona. Well, there haven't been many stoppages, and Southampton may get caught now. Here's Cole. Can he cap it? Cantona. Still Cantona. Yes, sharp. That's it.
Today, Dave Merrington looks back on Neil Shipley's disallowed effort as just one of football's mitre-beats.
I would say it was a good goal, and I think most of the people who saw it, even on the playbacks, thought it was a good goal. But those things happen in football, and I never dwell in the past anyway. I think that you look and you work hard and you get out of what you put in.
That was the 6th round. Here are the Manchester United players arriving. Fairly serious at the moment. And of course we need confirmation of their final 11. Will Scholes play? We don't know. Or Cole, May or Bruce. Those are the seemingly choices. Paul Parker won't be playing, or Sharp. Irwin will. So we will soon find out. We'll have the names of the team in about the next 10 minutes or so, I would expect. Now, what sort of part will Ian Rush play in the final this afternoon? He's a substitute, of course, for Liverpool. He's the record goal scorer with 42 goals in the FA Cup. He scored 5 in finals, and Gary Richardson now reports on him.
I used to watch all the FA Cup finals on television, and after that, go in the garden and pretend that you're playing in the FA Cup final. It's the best cup in the world. I've always seemed to be lucky in the FA Cup for some reason.
When you think of Liverpool's recent FA Cup successes, one name stands out head and shoulders above all others. Ian Rush's cup final story began in 1986. Liverpool were trailing to Everton.
And here's Rush, onside, Ian Rush, goal!
Once we equalised, we knew Liverpool were going to win then. At that time, every time I'd scored, Liverpool had never been on losing sides. So it was, I think we knew we were going to win there. And really the third goal was, I think Kenny Dalglish made a great run to the left of Ronnie Whelan, but he managed to see me and give the ball to me. And I think once that went in, a lot of people remember it for smashing a camera at the back of the net.
Whelan. And Rush is on the far side. Is this 3? It is!
When people ask me, which is the best game, what does one game stand out, and that's the one for me because it was my first FA Cup final. This year we'd done a double and we beat Everton at Wembley.
Despite his phenomenal scoring record, this season he's had to spend a big part of his match days on the sidelines, as COLLYMORE and Fowler have played starring roles.
When you're sitting on the bench, though, do you almost sort of want to nudge the manager and say, don't forget, I'm here?
I do tell him that, yeah. I think when things are going well, you get frustrated as well, and I tell him now I can go on and make a name for myself.
And he's certainly done that. In 1989, his season had been troubled by injuries, but come Wembley in May, he came off the bench to ruin Everton's day again.
In extra time, I think they're all down to sort of my level of fitness because they were very tired, and I managed to score 2 great goals then, and I felt then, the time, I was right, that I hadn't lost it, and I knew I could still produce it at the top, and that was a great feeling in a different way.
Rush! Goal! 3-2 Liverpool. Ian Rush gets his second.
It was earlier this season that the FA Cup record books had to be rewritten, as Ian Rush notched his 42nd goal in the competition, taking him past Dennis Law's record. But it's in the final itself where Rush has always taken centre stage, as Sunderland discovered in 1992.
Thomas through the middle again. Michael Thomas. Rush. 2-0 Liverpool. And vintage Ian Rush.
The goal I scored there, you know, was I passed the ball in the back of net really, and I think it was a goal then that goal meant I'd beat anyone, scored more than anyone in FA Cup finals, and that was a great feeling for myself as well to have broken that record. I think that made it 5 in 3 games, so that was a great satisfaction for me.
So Ian Rush's final day at work for Liverpool. For managers checking the small ads, a reliable runner on offer, 649 appearances, 345 goals.
My thoughts after cup final is to sit down with my family and decide which club I'm going to go to. I will be playing the Premiership next season, and I just hope that the team I go to is going to win the League Championship and win the FA Cup. And now I treat it as this maybe my last FA Cup final, but at the end of the day, hopefully I'm going to a club which is capable of, you know, maybe beating Liverpool in the cup final one day.
So the show almost over at Liverpool for Ian Rush, but what price today? Another winner's medal and another goal.
This used to be my playground. This used to be our pride and joy. This used to be the place we ran to, that no one in the world could dare destroy.
My first time it went so quickly, you know, I didn't think anything about it. But hopefully this time, you know, I'm going to treasure it all the day and take everything in this time, and I think that's why it most probably be a bit special.
Well, he's on the subs bench today, but I reckon we'll probably see something of him in action later on this afternoon. Now, the players are down on the pitch. The sun's come out for this cup final. Let's join Ray Stubbs with some of the Liverpool team down there.
Steve McManaman and Robbie Fowler, gentlemen, please. Thank you very much indeed. First of all, the suits.
Yeah, nice day, so we thought, why not?
Happy with the suits, Robbie?
Better if it was really sunny, though. Like, you need our glasses, though, don't we? So, and we're in business. So.
Plenty of family here today, gentlemen?
We have, yeah. I think if you ask all the lads, they've got, you know, a large number of people watching them, so there.
Robbie, is it right? I understand your mum's coming to watch you for the first time today?
Yeah, she never seen me play. Everyone's laughing at me.
Not even on the telly?
Well, she's seen me on the telly, but she's never been to watch a game live, sort of thing. So I think she'll enjoy it. I mean, I just hope she's not a bit of a bad omen.
Do you get nervous?
And give her a slap on it.
Do you get nervous before games?
Go on, carry on, sorry.
No, well, I've never really been nervous before. I mean, I did struggle the other day. I had a bit nervous the other day, but I feel okay now. Like, so.
Steve, Manchester United, your assessment of them, please.
Brilliant. They showed this year. They took a lot of stick early on in the season with the defeat against Aston Villa. They bounced back brilliant. You know, the last 20-odd games or whatever, they've been incredibly consistent, and they've clinched the title and they've won by a few points in the end. So it just shows how well they were playing near the end.
Everyone seems happy enough, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Very good of you.
Stubbsy.
There's the skipper, John Barnes. John, if we can borrow you for a moment. Mr. Barnes, sir, everyone seems very relaxed and very happy.
Well, those two are always relaxed and happy. I don't think everyone else is, but those two, you know, there are a lot of nerves around. Not many of the players slept last night, but with McManaman and Fowler, they're the most relaxed players in the side, so, and you just saw they were.
Of course, it's a huge game today. How do you assess this Liverpool squad? Because you've seen so many Liverpool teams.
Well, the future looks good. The future looks good for Manchester United as well. They've got a lot of good youngsters, but we're more concerned about today. We're not concerned about the future, we're concerned about the present, and it's important for us to win today.
What sort of game do you think it'll be? Everyone's been saying it'll be an absolute classic. That's not necessarily the case, I guess.
Well, I think it will be a classic, but with not many goals, because both have got good defences, both have got wonderful attacks. So I don't think it's going to be like a Newcastle situation or 4-3, but I think we'll have equally as the same number of attacks as we did against Newcastle, possibly without the goals. But it'll be an entertaining match.
Roy Evans says you're his coach on the pitch. How do you react to that?
I think he means I'm the moaner on the pitch. You see how relaxed the lads are. Sometimes you need to just get on their back and moan and shout a bit, because they do tend to be a bit laid back. Only at the right time, but you know that makes it a good side, just being relaxed.
Can I introduce one of your younger players, Jason McAteer? He's had a...
Hi, John. Jason McAteer. All the best today. Thanks very much. Don't be nervous.
No. Can you have to pinch yourself sometimes? That's what's happened to you over the last couple of months.
Over the last couple of years, I think, flipping heck. I look back 5 years ago, I was just playing locally, and just at college, you know, and I come here today and I'm playing with the likes of John Barnes, who's one of my heroes in that, in a cup final. Can't believe it.
What is it about the Liverpool side over the past couple of months which you think has made things so successful for you?
I think it's with being a young side mixed with a few experienced players, and we've all knitted together well, you know, and we just enjoy ourselves and we go out together and that, and we just knit well.
You all socialise together. I think Jamie Redknapp's going to join us. You two do?
Right. Jamie,
you do socialise together, don't you?
Nice to meet you, mate. You all right, yeah? Yeah, nice suit.
Thank you.
Jamie, you feeling nervous?
A little bit. Obviously, it's a massive day today. Getting to the grounds, you know, all the people around, it's just fantastic atmosphere, and we're looking forward to getting the game started now.
I guess we shouldn't disguise the sort of very relaxed atmosphere you seem to have with the commitment. There's a lot of steel in here. You're very determined.
Oh, of course, we have a little bit. Once the game starts, it's, you know, you've got to become professional then, and you know, this is just our way of relaxing a little bit. And you know, we've got a few jokes in the team, but we all enjoy ourselves. But we know when it comes down to football, that's the most important thing.
Jason, Manchester United, they're going for the double. It's a very important game for Liverpool Football Club.
It is, yeah. I mean, we worked so hard this season, and we've strung together some terrific results. I think we went 22 unbeaten. I think to come to the end of the season and not to take any honours home today will be a disappointing season for Liverpool. But you know, we'll be out there fighting for the cup. So.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the afternoon.
Can I just say, I wish Alan Stubbs all the best at Celtic. Thank you.
You said it. Thank you.
Now we'll be hearing from the Manchester United players when they come up the other end in a moment or two, but meantime, let's continue our road to Wembley. It'll be a little more brief this time because we're just looking back at the semi-finals.
A Frenchman leads the way, there's a magnificent Dane, and a whole cosmopolitan dazzle to keep minds off Sunday lunch. It's 1:30 at Villa Park. It's Manchester United versus Chelsea. Irwin, Pallister and now Bruce are missing from United's back four. Chelsea strike the first blow. The Dutchman.
Hughes trying to clatter his way through and he's succeeded. Hullet is the player in the middle for Chelsea. Hullet! Chelsea celebrate. And wouldn't you just believe it? Mark Hughes against his old club makes the goal. And Ruud Hullet, who can do no wrong in his first season in English football, is the man who scores it.
Early in the second half, Terry Phelan pulled up, clutching his thigh. Hamstring problems are not cured by playing on, but Chelsea had already lost Steve Clarke, their other fullback. After a brief absence, Phelan returned. It was a crucial decision.
Chelsea haven't had the ball for quite some time. This is Neville. Four waiting in the centre for a cross from him. Andy Cole's coming in. Cantona is there. Oh, and Andy Cole takes the foot out. And Manchester United are level. Cantona and Cole.
Yeah, I think the problem is that Phelan isn't going to get forward now, and you need the width, you know, when you've got sort of in that system.
Oh, look at this, David Beckham for Manchester United, clean through, and they're in front. Burley holds his head in dismay, because that mistake, which the goalkeeper had no chance of retrieving, has given Manchester United the lead for the first time.
Yeah, it was enjoyable, except the pitch was very bad. And but I think two teams were up to play the game, and it was